Hello, all of you Vainglorious, wonderful people. Oh, look, it's not capturing the game. There we go. Oh, yes. How I love you. Hey, Ron, what is going on? We are playing City Skylines tonight, my friend. We're back in our live stream city. We haven't been here in, wow, 21 days, 3 weeks. We haven't played City Skylines in 3 weeks. So, I figured it was time to go visit the city, see what's going on, and I don't know if a mod broke or changed something or what. I no longer have... Hi, teen! Welcome to Lurk. Yeah, okay, I think I know what's going on. I have a lot of retail complaining. Yeah, I know. I don't know why the bot keeps doing that. It probably needs a colon and or brackets or parentheses of brackets. I don't know. I've got a ton of places complaining about not enough customers. And then a problem that we had and that we resolved, though I don't see it now that it's been running for a minute. I had some retail complaining about not enough goods to sell. One of the things that happened recently is the more effective transfers mod that I was using that does like the name sounds. So in this game, so let's just use this as an example. Actually, that's not a good example. Let's go over here. There we go. So here, the lemonade factory, right? So it needs crops and glass, which if we look around, we have nearby somewhere. There, we've got crops right here, here, and here. And then we've got glass in one of these storage buildings as well. Just, I don't know which one, but there is. There's glass somewhere. So this building needs those. So you would think, well, this is close. Whenever it needs it, this building's closest, so that's going to be the building that goes and delivers it. Well, not necessarily. In vanilla City Skylines, it's randomized. So it may very well send the call for crops to, like, I don't know, this barn over here. And so now a truck is going to drive all the way across the city. That thing's going to run with crops in the meantime, and it's going to add extra traffic to the game. What the more effective transfer mod did was force it to look for the closest source. So with that mod, yes, this would have been the facility that would have been supplying this guy with crops. But that mod did a naughty. And its most recent update was allowing it to download additional content straight from GitHub instead of going to the Steam Workshop, which is a no-no. I think this would be better served over here. So because of that, the mod was removed by Steam, and rightfully so. You know, that's not behavior we want to see in mods, getting stuff from who knows where. This doesn't have any snap twos on it. I was hoping it did. I wanted to connect the path there. Yeah, that works better there. So yeah, that mod is now gone. Because of that, we're seeing increased truck traffic. Because now all these guys are just like, oh, we'll just export it. Why not? And then we're probably going to wind up seeing more. Yeah, we're already seeing more imports of agricultural goods, even though we produce way more than we could ever use. Like, look, this dude's importing crops. And yet, okay, so they're exporting 815. So obviously we have a surplus. Yet they're turning around and then importing 200. It's silly. And that mod fixed all that, but the mod went and did a naughty, so we don't get the mod anymore. An example of why we can't have nice things. And there's not a lot you can do about it. What we can do, though, is start meeting some of the needs of the city, which we have a big residential demand. So I'm going to, let's see what the noise is like over here. It's not bad. I could probably get away with like a few more houses in here. Where's our nearest commercial? Right there. So let's do a little node of commercial like here. Tested the data CellSam chips last night. Cool. Yeah, but you gotta pay for that versus your Wi-Fi, yeah? Whoa, hello. Yeah, we'll just run that straight through there. That'll give us some smaller lot sizes, which will be nice. So we can get some smaller houses. I may even do that here. Yeah, we'll get smaller houses this way. Which was kind of what I was going for all along in this neighborhood. I may even do some other things too. Maybe put some paths in through here or something. If I ran a path in through here, that would make this side, well, it wouldn't really do much for me though. So let's get rid of this before they build it all, because what I want to do is have commercial on this side and residential on that side. And we will continue our commercial here. But residential demand is our biggest demand, so we're just going to go ahead and take care of it. Yeah, I'm digging the smaller lot sizes. No Wi-Fi available at the sleep study business. Fair enough. We'll do a little bit more there and right there, and that'll be the extent of that. Go to about there. I don't think I want to go any farther on this area than that. We've got some space here. Well, it's got some weird terrain, though. That's kind of why I didn't put anything there to begin with. We will eventually move back in these areas. Maybe not back here, but maybe closer to the coast. We will eventually develop all of that and a lot of this over here. But not today. We've got another project that we're working on. I'm just looking to see if there's anything here in Jackson Township that we can develop. And I keep sending my mouse off the screen. This isn't flat. Yeah, there's a pretty big hill there. Yeah, that's already causing issues with stuff we've placed. So let's not do that. Just leave it. What we could do though is maybe get a little more housing right here. Let's just first of all connect that path right there so that they've got another way into the park. And we'll do it there as well and get rid of that one. There we go. And then we can throw a little more residential in right here next to the park. Not gonna do that because it's a really steep cliff and it'll look funky. Can maybe do some residential back here in the university area. Is there anything that makes noise back here? That makes noise down there, but we could get away with some down here maybe. I don't know, we'll see. I've zoned, excuse me, very little, and yet it's already really cut into our demand. Oh, they don't have water here. That could be a problem. I would probably complain if my toilet didn't flush. And it was the city's fault. Oh man, I have the hiccups. Freaking potatoes, man. Every time I eat potatoes, I get the hiccups. It's actually technically a starch allergy. It's just not an allergy that is like life-threatening or anything. It's just mildly inconvenient. I get the hiccups for a while till my body metabolizes all the starch. I wish this water ran all the way up into here, and I'm wondering if I can't make that happen. It seems silly that it just kind of stops there. And the reason it just stops here is because that's going uphill. So let's grab our level terrain tool and let's go with a very small brush size with a very low strength and grab this deeper area and just kind of bring that up here. I like potatoes though. Why would I stop eating potatoes? It's just the hiccups. I can deal with the hiccups if I get to eat some potatoes. Okay, so that already is at the same elevation. So why is this water just kind of like stopping right there? Like, look at it. You can even see it. It's just like there's something holding it back. Is there a water source there that's sucking it down? No. Because these can be turned into like a vacuum for water as well as a source for water. Speed up time here. It looks like it might be slowly creeping into here. I just like this to fill out. I mean, it just looks silly to not have the water right here. And I'm pretty sure there was water there at one point. Yeah, it's working its way back in now. I don't know what happened to it. Why it stopped. I just want to make sure it doesn't flood here. I could probably even stand to just go ahead and lower this. Ooh, that was way too much. Turn that brush strength way down. There we go. Lower this just a smidge. And then level to that up to here just to cause this water to flow back into here a little bit. Let's bring our brush strength back up. There we go. That should pull some of that water this way now. Because now, yeah, look at it. It's even trying to, well, it's trying to get in the channel that I just made. It's like that pillar is magnetized for water. It's really bizarre. Oh, but so's why? Why is it doing this? Just lower this all the way through here. See if we can't get some momentum to it. Brush strength up a little more. I'm always hesitant to mess around with the water because the water loves to remind you of the law of unintended consequences. And say, oh, you want me to flow here too? Well, guess what? Here's something you didn't see, and we're now going to flood your whole house, or your whole city. It's getting there. That's better, I think. And then this should be steep enough here to hold it back. There may be some minor localized flooding at first, but nothing to get too terribly concerned about. Well, I said it's better, and then that's all the farther it's getting. All right, screw it. We are going to add a water source with very low water capacity. We're going to pause to do this. We're going to plop this dude right here, and then we're going to go back in and grab it and lower it down. Because that highlighted part, that's its current water level. Obviously, we don't want that, because that would flood everything. I just want to bring it down to where it fills this little area nicely. That should do it. And then in the second, yeah, there we go. We'll just see the water pop in. It will cause a bit of flooding temporarily, as it's just all flowing right back out again, though. What in the world? I am so confused as to what's happening here. I'm just going to use that level for this whole thing. We'll have a bit of a steep shoreline. But I want water here. Yeah, that made a very steep short line. So let's now soften that up from up here. Slowly but surely. And carefully so that we're not like letting the water get out of this area. because these houses are very close. It looks a little bit better. Marginally better. I'd like to get a path in here. And like a little fishing dock or something. That's why that's the whole reason I've been doing this. I want like, oh, that's huge though. Maybe if I use one from the parks. Building must be placed in a park or roadside. Grr. Will a path count as roadside? See, I left these spaces for paths right here. Let's turn off road guidelines, go to grid. We intentionally left these little gaps right here. Get a path back here. So let's turn off everything now. Turn it off. This fish, I would assume so, because we've got lakes everywhere, but I don't really know. I personally don't enjoy fishing. That's ugly, but we'll fix it. Must be placed roadside, so that doesn't count as roadside. That's a major frustration. Oh well, we'll just have the path back here and be done with it. I assume, you know, in Arkansas, anything that involves killing something is probably popular. That up that way. Bring this back in. And see if we can't. So I can get rid of that one, then this one comes back. So let's move that there. Now they're all back. And then there we go. That looks a little better, I guess. So at least I can go out here and walk by the water. Not quite what I was wanting, but well, it did fill in nicely though. Okay, cool. So our demand has already skyrocketed back, but these houses that I built haven't really upgraded yet. They should. Oh, I wanted to check something real quick. We're gonna pause again. I want to see if this is working yet. No, not this one. This one. We're just gonna pick a random spot to plop it down. I still can't click that button, and until I can click that button, I'm not using that monument. All right, whatever. So let's go over here to our high density area, which this area, and this area really stumped me on how to develop them. This one, not so much because it's relatively flat, but back here, I'm not really sure what we're going to do. Your father would rather go fishing than do anything else, and he retired to move to the town nearest the state fishery. I don't know, I find it... I get bored when I go fishing. I've been a couple times, and it wasn't for me. And when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to go fishing or hunting. When my dad was young, they were pretty impoverished. You know, if they didn't kill it or catch it, they didn't eat it. I mean, space already occupied. It's a road. It's a fucking road. I liked it that way. So, you know, he didn't want his kids having to experience that hardship. So we were forbidden from those type of activities. Which I understand. I get it. Got a little bit of weirdness happening here because I didn't respect my topography. do I leave the weirdness or do I fix the weirdness? I think I leave the weirdness. This is the limit of where we're going. Like, this is the prison. We're going to put some trees here. In fact, let's do that now. Let's just grab a selection of trees and duplicate them. That was too big. Let's try again. So smaller sample. There we go. And we're just going to kind of like hide this place. Really, fish from a boat. Fish from the shore. The only kind of fishing that I ever really enjoyed, and it really wasn't the fishing that caused me to enjoy it, it was just the environment of the whole situation was when I went deep sea fishing. I like being out on the ocean. You know, no land in sight, just the waves and the water for as far as you can see. I loved it. And the boat we were on was pretty nice too. So that helped a lot. Just gonna get these pretty dense there just so we can, like, from here, pretty much block the view of the prison from street level. Granted, we're gonna have high rises here, so they're gonna be able to see it anyway, but whatever. And I'm going to continue this. Actually, no, I'm gonna make this a separate district. Need a cruise vacation? I've been on one. It's all right. I found myself bored most of the time. Just cruise boats don't really offer the type of entertainment and amenities I'm looking for. Like, I don't want to go to shows and I don't go to movies anyway. And, like, you know, that was their big thing. Oh, we have a movie theater with all the latest Hollywood hits, and we have all these Broadway type shows and all these different musicians, and none of it was anything I was interested in. I literally spent most of the time on the deck with my laptop on the ship's Wi-Fi. Which, let's face it, that's an expensive way to surf the internet. There we go. Actually, I think I want this end to be tourism. I'm trying to get some a good spot for some leisure activities as well. This is going to remain all commercial right here. Not there. That's a different thing. There. Yeah, I like that. Does our district extend out to here? Not enough. You just pop that out right there and pop this out. So I think this to go to there. There we go. And go along the side there, though maybe not right up against the monument. You may do something a little different there. Walk the... Yeah, I mean, it was very relaxing, but it was a nice way to end the day, but it wasn't... I don't know. There just wasn't enough to justify the incredible expense that a cruise represented. Just get some extra connectivity through there. I doubt I'm going to put anything there. We might put like a city park in there or something. But I probably won't actually zone that. I don't really like the curve being different, so we're going to do something slightly different here. We're not going to connect down here like we did, but what we're going to do is come up one and up one. Come on. Out one. Out one. And then we're going to continue these by a half. There. And then that should give me some more consistent curves. Though it isn't. It's this side. Alright, let's do it this way then. We'll use this tool. And just stop where it's going to go straight. My ideal vacation, though, is stay home and sleep. Yeah, what is up, my dude? That's like Those are my favorite vacations. Where I read a lot when I was on the cruise. I also read a lot when I was in the Philippines during the week. On the weekends, oh dude, I was in another country. I maxed it out. Like I went everywhere. Sleep is for the weak. That's fine. I'll be weak then. I love sleep. It's my favorite thing. Pretend to sleep in game instead. I kind of do that a lot. You know, I'll sit here and play games sometimes. I get so sleepy, but I ignore it and I wind up falling asleep in my chair. And especially if it's City Skylines, if I fall asleep and like an hour later I wake up to the little lady who like, oh, there's a disaster coming to your city. Let's just hit this with the soften tool brush here. Not a whole lot, man. Just you know, it's the weekend, so it's time to stream. So wasn't really feeling it tonight, which is why we're playing City Skylines. That's kind of my chill game anyway. I've thought about redoing this whole area and following our angled roads all the way back. But man, that would be a huge hit to the population. Like massive. Dude, I like this. I like this park a lot. I think it's framed nicely. Like you're here in the middle of all these big buildings, but you've got like trees and green space all throughout. I intentionally left like a lot of big green spaces throughout this park. And the whole time you're looking at, you know, well, it's the London Eye is what it's modeled after. It's even what it's called in game. But the whole time you've got, you know, this big anchor. Is this like one big giant city? Technically, yeah. But I've gone through like there's no way to like that I've worked on forever. I started this in February. This one. So like I've got like this over here that I treat as one separate city, treating this as one large city, and this is one large city, and then there's 2 towns over here. Technically 3, but Holly Township is home to Holly Shores, and then Jackson Township over here. Kind of treating it as communities that sprung up around industries. We're not going to do anything out here, though, for the oil industry. That's why the Holly Township is over here, because this is nasty, arid land where we're just putting Chirpex. Oh, wait, do we have a rocket to launch? Nope. We're getting close. We had Steve and Tabitha. We launched Steve and Tabitha. And then Bluebird 1 was canceled. I guess because we didn't launch it in time. We had a bit of an earthquake, but we repaired the road. This oil industry is what's keeping our city alive. It's making so much bank. It's hard to click on because there's 2 different districts right there. Yeah, $435,000 a week that thing makes. So basically, our city's kind of technically losing about 250 grand because we're only making 140. I'm kind of stalling for time because I want these dudes to upgrade. They're just not doing it. Why? Yeah, I guess they are kind of far from the nearest school. Though that school's not full. The bus route doesn't really cover them either. I guess I could add a stop up here in the neighborhood from this route. So then that's really close to that stop. Maybe we'll put it here instead. And that works. That'll work. At least we get a bus stop. We should probably take a look at our transportation, make sure none of our lines are overwhelmed. 1,000 people riding this one. There are 65 buses on this lane? Or this route? What? Why? Why do I have 65 buses? And they're still not keeping up. Granted, that is a very, very long route. Why? Wait. Is that going all the way? Why? Why is it going all the way over here? The fuck? Why? Okay, hold on. I can't. I want to see just this bus line. There we go. Why do I have stops for that local bus all the way over there? They can take the train over here. Yeah, that's dumb. Where is that? We're going to get rid of those. I don't recall doing that, to be honest. There, now it's only an 8.6 kilometer. The major crew lines keep building larger ships. Yeah, they're huge, man. They're floating skyscrapers. All right, so that's going to send a bunch of those buses back to the depot, and hopefully we can actually get away with fewer buses now, because now they don't have that really long leg in the run. So I'm going to take this back down to 100%, and we'll revisit it in a moment. Come on, give me 100. 101 then, fine, whatever. And that's going to take us from 52 buses down to 15. Yeah, I'd been on a cruise, and like I said earlier, it was okay. Not really my favorite way to spend time. None of these are even full, so, well, that one's kind of close. You have to constantly revisit your transit in City Skylines, because as the city grows and your population centers get redistributed, you really need, well, people's needs change of where they want to go. Like here, we probably ought to add 2 more buses. You would install monorail over that street or bus line? I could. I'm not a big fan of monorail, though, in this game. Simply because they put too much of a prioritization on it. The actual Sims, there's nothing I can do about it. So they will neglect all other forms of mass transit in favor of the monorail. And so you wind up with your citizens not getting on the transportation. Because what will happen, like, let me find a really busy bus line here. Or bus stop. Go back into here. That was the other one. What happens at these stops like this? So let me find one. There we go. That we can actually see the people. What you'll see is, well, that is loud. What you'll see, and you guys can't hear the game, can you? What the hell? I just saw that on OBS. Let me fix that. I've been having the weirdest problems with my audio this week. Yeah, just everything keeps just setting back to default. I had no idea you guys couldn't hear the game. Even Discord reset. Not that I'm in Discord right now. Right now, there we go. Now you can hear him. Anyways, what'll happen, like at this really busy bus stop here, and this is true for all mass transit in the game, is they will eventually get bored, and you'll see some of them walk away from the stop and just get in a car instead. I guess they keep their cars in their pockets. Sure, why not? So, you know, you want to make sure you have enough vehicles to meet the demand, but that's the thing with monorail is it seems that they prefer it so heavily to the neglect of all other modes of transit that they'll just sit there and cause all kinds of backup at each individual station or stop, and then they get bored and get out and cause traffic problems. I do have a pretty good metro system in the town, though. I've got... Where is it? There we go. It's kind of hard to see because it's this green line. But it comes over here, runs down to the city. We've got to stop there. And then it comes over this way. We've got to stop in our bus terminal. And then it comes over here to our small industrial area. And then it jumps over here to a big tourist area. Comes downtown. It comes over here to our theme park and our zoo, and then it jumps back over here to the airport and then pings back. And then the airport has its own loop that gets passengers around between the 3 terminals. So we've got robust mass transit, and then we also have a train line that takes people from here to the airport, from here to then to this train station, so they can cover really big distances on the trains. And the trains are doing fairly well for us. They're seeing pretty decent ridership. Like, we've got 4 trains on there, and we've got almost enough people to fill it every time it shows up. Though I do have opportunities, because I don't know if you saw there, but it says I'm only saving 58% of car trips, which means I'm not quite getting people exactly where they would like to go by train. So that's something we can take a look at and figure out. But first, our zoo has upgraded, so I want to see... I thought this was already a 5-star zoo. We have a lion enclosure? That'll answer the question. We do, right? Everything's unlocked. It was a 5-star zoo. How did it... How do I have everything unlocked if it's only a 4-star zoo? These don't downgrade. I don't quite get how I have everything unlocked if it's not fully upgraded. Oh well. What we need to do is come in here and just drop a bit of a fence in back here now that we've got like our boundaries of the zoo and we know how far we want it to go. We'll go here and then we'll just kind of curve around back in behind here, and then it'll just terminate. Like, we don't need to run the fence like the whole perimeter. We can just chill right there, unless we wind up developing back here, which I don't think we're going to, just because it's, I don't know, we could. That's pretty lumpy, bumpy terrain. We'd have to do a lot of serious grading. Do that. We might do something on, actually I do want to do something on this island. I just can't figure out how I want to get people here. But I thought of something really cool we could do at this island. The problem is, I have a zoo in the way of getting a road here, and if I bring this road out and around, I don't know that it's going to get used all that much. But let's work on that thing I want to build out there, because I think it'll be kind of nice. I can just switch to regular grass roads here. I'm going to try to follow the angle of this fence if I can. I have to go straight out to there, then follow that. There we go. So maybe I do need to have the fence come all the way around. We'll look at that in a minute, and we'll use these road guidelines. That'll just make it easier to place everything. And then I just want to bring this to over here. 2 ways to get to Juneau, Alaska. Fly or by sea. You prefer to get there by sea? Oh, I prefer to fly every time. I love to fly. I absolutely love flying. Okay, it gets this little bridge over. And then I want to bring this out to about here. That should be good. And I want to kind of just have it loop back around. But before I figure out the actual loop, yeah, okay, we've got grading problems. So let's first of all, let's level this all out to one single train height. And I'm going to pick what's there on the road. That way we don't have to change the road. I'm going to get rid of these hills. It's sad. This is being bought by a major promotional venue company, and they're just like, flatten it. We will leave a bit of a coast right there because I may do something with that. Cool. There we go. That makes me happier. So there's not going to be a whole lot out here, just a few things. Let's bring these roads back in. I would like them to be on the ground, though, please. Thank you. All right, let's redo this bridge. An August or September cruise to Alaska is your favorite cruise? I wouldn't mind taking, like, an Alaskan cruise to see the Northern Lights. That would be kind of cool. I really want to see the Aurora Borealis sometime in my lifetime. I think that would be really awesome. So we're going to come in here to our unique buildings, and we're going to come into our concerts, and we are going to place the festival area right here. We may wind up changing this a little bit. I also want the fan zone park in here. We may wind up changing it just a bit as we go on, because it does, like, it reorients where the stage is right now. That's not good because it looks that way. But I think eventually the stage is going to be here on this end. So your concert viewers not only will be looking at the stage, but they'll have the cool backdrop of the city to look at. You know, we'll get rid of some of these trees and make that look really cool. But I want to bring in the fan zone park just across the street here. I think I want like a little stubbed so that it orients this way. This basically serves, I mean, not really, but it kind of serves as overflow for the concert area. They've got screens and everything of what's happening in here. So we need to get some water out here, which that should take care of that. And then once this builds up, we can even bring in just some leisure uses and just make this a nice little leisure island. And then we're going to have a ferry stop as well on here. Whoa, I went outside my screen. Yeah, I'd still rather fly to go anywhere. I absolutely love flying. Like, when I went to the Philippines, one of my favorite parts of the trip was the 19-hour flight. And you're like 19 hours on one plane. Yep. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Like, I spent most of my time, like, they asked that everybody keep the shades drawn just to respect all the different people from all the different time zones. You know, so dealing with, you know, what's the word? Jet lag. Which, you know, totally a reasonable request, and I didn't mind it at all. But at the back of the plane, where there wasn't anyone seated, they had some of the windows open so that you could actually go back there and look out. And I remember, you know, just like flying over some massive mountain ranges, because the plane went from Dallas up the west coast, up across the Alaskan Peninsula, and then down back and across the east side of Asia, and then down into South Korea. And it's just cool. I love looking down from the plane and just seeing the land. It's something I enjoy greatly. Thinking about also building a pedestrian path over to here. Where am I going to get a ferry boat, though? That's going to be a bit of a challenge, because this is raised up pretty high, and I don't like the ferries being raised up super high. Let's get the stop in first, and then figure out the rest of it in a minute. Oh, I like that angle. There we go. That's good. Let's actually bring this. Whoops, I did the wrong thing. So let's bring this back and make sure it's lined up with the street pretty well. We have there. That looks good. We'll bring it out just about as far as I can get away with. That sits pretty low. I think the water will chill out here in a second and stop flooding. Yeah. So what I want to do is have a nice slope now that the road can follow. So we're going to get our high point from there, and then we're just going to use the slope tool and bring it up. Excuse me. And we're going to do the same on this end. Just bring that up. And then we'll just put in a nice little rope. Or a nice little street, whatever. Let's turn off everything but road guidelines here. That's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. There we go. And that should be a nice gentle slope without any weird terrain glitches now. And then we'll do the same right here. Yep, cool. So now they'll be able to like catch the ferry to come over here because we do have a ferry boat over there. And this is kind of a touristy destination. So, wow, there's a lot of people here already. Well, okay, it looks like a lot of people. There's 84 people here. And there's 50 coming there. So it's starting to get some visitors. We do want to do an ad campaign. We do want to pay for the premium studio. And we do want the budget, not so much. We can leave the budget alone. So that gets that started. Let's get some water down to the ferry. Just turn all of our snap twos off. I've got to learn the keyboard shortcut to do that. I've just never have. And we'll just bring that up. Have a redundant loop. And then we can bring in a second ferry line from here that just pings back and forth. You don't want them to be too long. I mean, ferry boats tend to just ping back and forth between two locations. They rarely like have long multiple stops. So we're just going to make a second line. But first we have to draw a path for the boats to actually follow, which I think I can just get one nice big swoopy path in here. Yeah, that'll work. And then we'll have stop there, and back. So I want to name these so I know which is which. So there we go. We'll make this one kind of a purpley color. Cool. So this is Chirp X to Sporting Arenas, I guess. And then this is Arenas to Concert Island. You have to get up and stretch often. More of them do that on a ship than on a plane. True. I mean, you know, to each his own. You know, if you prefer to go on cruises, go on cruises. It's just not my thing. It's just not. I didn't have a good time when I went on one. I was bored most of the time. Just wishing for better things to do. I'm tempted to add the music club down here as well, because we are going to add in just a little bit of leisure commercial down here. Just a bit, and I'm going to try to keep these lots a little bit smaller, so we're not going to go out as far as we normally do. What did I do here? 400? Let's just do 400 again. There we go, and I may even... I'll bring that across as a path. That way, I want to make this a very walkable area. I can do better on this one. Not going to be any residential on this island. This is just going to be a leisurely spot. Okay, I guess I can't do better on that one. Yep. Put that there. And then I'm thinking maybe we can get some jet ski rentals or stuff like that down here. But first, I just want to see how this area is doing in general. We will need a couple of services. I don't need healthcare over here, but I do need fire protection, and we'll kind of like shove it off like back here in the corner. Same with police coverage. We're going to need a little bit of police coverage. And that will cover the whole place. No problem. I don't like that this is just a stub right here. I also want to upgrade this to be this road. I don't want to put trees out here, but I do want some nice green sidewalks. And then across, and then back like that. There we go. And now they're able to get through, and maybe I'll do a path like right here. Oh, is the concert over? Yes, no? 200 people. That's not bad. That many people came out here. What's our city attractiveness up to? 92%. We've got almost 3,000 tourists in the city. That's pretty good. And the nice thing about this, no matter how they arrived in town, whether it was by train or by plane, like if it was by either one, they can get on the subway, come over to here, get on the ferry boat, and come over here. So there's mass transit available for all of our visitors. You've stopped cruising in the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico even in winter, the heat and humidity is too high. Oof. That's scary to lose digital to humidity. I'd like this to... There we go. It was wonky on the other one, but I can fix it there. Alright, so that should give us a decent little island. So far, we're not seeing a lot of usage on this. I'm guessing we probably will soon. I'm going to pause for just a minute. I'm going to see if this will let me add a node right here without breaking the concert venue. I want a node right... Oh, there is a node right there. Okay, good. I would like to make that node a crosswalk so that I can have a path that just shoots down to here, straight to the ferry. I know they can walk that way. I'd like to make it direct. As long as the path doesn't look bad, which it might because of the slope that's here. We'll see what we can do. I'm going to come out straight for a minute. Oh, come on. Let's just turn anarchy on. Alright, like that. And then I want this to come up like that. And this like that. Not quite exact. It's a little steep, but I don't think it's tragic. I think it's doable. Definitely not, you know, where you want grandma walking, but hey. So the only reason it's off center is because this isn't perfectly centered to that, so it'll be alright. So who's playing here? This is Lily LaRue, clearly some sort of folk singer, if I were to guess, by just a single person with a acoustic guitar. Well, there's an awful lot of oosh happening in her music for just one lady with a guitar there. What's cool, see, like, so the fan zone, here's the concert being played here. So I guess this could be like cheaper tickets than going to the actual concert festival site. We probably should add some death care to this area because that hers had to come from a very, very far a long ways away. Cool. And then we're going to add just a couple other nice amenities. We're going to give them a sauna. We're going to give them a yoga garden. And that's probably it. We'll fill in the rest with just commercial. So we need to zone this as leisure. Which I just realized I never did over here. So we got general commercial. So we're going to lose all that. Oops. This is tourism, yeah? This knows this is tourism? Yeah, see the little beach icon right there. That's all the same zone. All those buildings are going to vanish because I just told them to become leisure buildings instead of just general commercial. And then we want to do the same over here. We want to make this just a leisure area. I might do just a little strip of tourism right behind. Just like a little teeny tiny bit back here. I don't want giant skyscraper hotels though. So what we'll do to try to avoid that is give it very, like I want hotels here, but give it just like limited numbers of squares that it can really use. And see what grows up with that. This side though, I want to go ahead and blanket. We have crime over here, despite the fact there's a police station. Oof. Oh, look at everybody using it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at everybody using it. Yes, that is what I was hoping for. People are taking this to get out. So we probably need more than 2 ferries on here. I'm going to go ahead and bump it up to 4. Even though it's only at concert times that this will really get used. Good God, how long does it take to get to 4? There we go. That way, when a concert is playing, we don't have people waiting, and the rest of the time, oh well. We'll just have extra boats. There's no way to get it to, like, respond to demand. Mainly because it would take too long anyways, because the boats that get dispatched are coming from all the way over here. Like, see, this is going over there. I know that's a weird first-person camera. I need to adjust all my first-person camera settings. So, hey, an hour into the stream, I forgot to ask this when I started. How's everybody doing tonight? I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out while we build a city. And I hope you're doing well. Feel free to say hi in chat, or feel free to lurk. Either one, whatever you're most comfortable with, is just fine. So yeah, see, that's a long journey. Like, we're not even to, like, there's where we're going. Here's where it starts. I'm a little bit concerned that maybe I should have a different pier here that has stops for 2 ferries. Just chilling for bed, or 4 bed. Because we've got an option for that. Like, we've got this ferry pier, which I'll just drop it down. Getting stronger every day. That's good. So, see, we could actually have the 2 lines come in separate and not fight for that. That might not be a bad idea to replace that over here. It's not going to be that big of a deal to do it. What does the bus terminal one look like? There's one that has a built-in bus terminal. It only has 1 stop for ferries. It looks like it has 2, but I think they would still collide like they're doing now. Yeah, let's do this. Let's pause real quick. Let's delete this, delete that, and then probably have to do a little work on our key wall. Actually, that one's... Whoa, hello, Windows Start menu. You guys can't see that, but I can. That's going to snap in just fine there. Even with Anarchy off, it still will fit just fine. So I'm going to put Anarchy on. See if I can't get it to snap to that again. Whoops. You would use an aerial tram to get people to the island? Really? I could. There you go. Did you actually connect? You did. Cool. And then I just need to reconnect this. So let's smooth this turn out a little bit. Bring this turn back. The boats will automatically update where they're going. It's not a big deal. So from here, guidelines are on. You tap it in? You are. So there. About there. I just want it to be in, we're just a quick bend and then straight in. Though this one they pull in here, so I should probably think about that. Why are you not connecting? That's why. That sometimes just turns itself off. So instead we need to come out like this. And then kind of back in and around like that for that one. And this one needs to come out and around. Trying to get it to see that one, but it's not wanting to. Invalid shape, so there we go. And then hopefully my stops will just update themselves. I can move them. That's the goal, but it doesn't look like they want to. We'll let it run for a second here. Maybe once the boats pull in, they'll realize the stops are there. It's like it sees that the stop is here. I can always just drag it to move it. There we go. There we go. Let's fix it ourselves. So now we won't get that weird crossover. They'll still crash into one another, and they'll crash into the pier because that's just the way the game works. There is a what do they call it? Cable cars. There are cable cars, but the angles that you can get with the lines. See, like, I can't, you got to go at really shallow angles to get over there, and you only have two different, you only have one end of line station, so you're limited with it only going in the back of that. So to get that cable car to go across this body of water, probably a bit of a challenge. Mainly because I don't have roads that are facing that direction, and I don't know that I've got room to get one in. Let's see, if I tried to do this, I've got, it can't go there because of the baseball stadium. And then so to get around the baseball stadium, it can't do that. So I'd have to put like in a little stub road. Hello, there we go. I'd have to bring in a little stub road right here, and it's not going to cooperate, is it? So we'll turn anarchy on, and then we'll just move that road down a little bit. Like that. And I'm not sure that this is gonna, that this would work either. I don't know that I'd be able to make the corner down here, because we would have to have like another in station there. Where's that other one I built? There it is. We don't need that one. I mean, if it'll do it, I'm all for it. Give people another option, which, you know, for tourists, that might be kind of a cool thing to go over the water. Want this to go up, though. We don't want it to be, like, super low to the water. I'm going to give them a view. That's 20 meters. That's 60 feet in the air. Bring that down like 45 feet. And then see if I can't get this headed in the right direction here. To get connected to this guy. Will it do it without anarchy? Oh, it actually will. Cool. And then you don't have to make, like, you don't have to set up a route, because it just knows that those are both in stops. That's where you're meant to be going. I don't know, we'll see if anybody uses it. I'm sure it's a nice way to cross, though. Gives you a nice view of the pier and the harbor. I don't know that I like having these cables out here, though, obstructing the view of people on the shore. That's the main thing. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Definitely an interesting way to get there, though. Oh, our little area is growing up nicely. So you got some restaurants, a couple hotels. That's what I didn't want, are really big buildings, and yet we got really big buildings. So, oh, right in. But what does that look like from here? What does that do for the view? Like, see, if you're here on, granted, there's just no first person for this. If you're on the underline, if you have a lot of riders on it, then I have to keep it. What's up, Jumanji? Yeah, we'll see. I just don't know that I like the way it obstructs the view here. You know, I don't mind the boats going by. You know, that gives some nice activity and life to this area. I don't mind that. In fact, I plan on, even though it's going to be incredibly impractical, bringing a little bit of a fishing industry over here and just have a massive drive back, just so we can get some nice activity here on the water with some boats. I don't know that I'm thrilled about the views of those pylons out in the middle of the water. I think they're kind of ugly. And there's nothing I can really do to make them look any better. They seem to go about the same speed as the boats. So it's not faster, just less seasick. So if you're afraid of heights, you can go on the boat. If you get seasick, you can go on the what's it called? I always forget the name of that damn thing. Cable car. I don't know why I forget it. Hey, we have a 5-star zoo finally. That already has all the 5-star zoo stuff in it, and I don't really understand how that works, but whatever. Yeah, see, we're getting bigger buildings than I would really like over here, so we're going to selectively zone this in then. I'm going to de-zone it all, let it go away. This area, not doing anything. We got an ice vending machine, which apparently is called a drugstore. We got an ATM. Oh, I know what's wrong. Yeah, I didn't ever make this the thing I wanted. Tourism. There. So those are going to go away. These are all going away. So now I can zone in some smaller squares here. Because I think what it was doing a 4 and then a 2. So if I do these 3x3s, it'll be a better way to control it. Let me do one bigger one back here. I don't know. No, let's go ahead and do a 3x3 there as well. Yeah, it looks like this is giving us the smaller buildings that I wanted. So let's see how many people. 14 people a week on that. 15 people a week on that. So pretty even split. All things considered. So also in this area, I'd like to get in some piers and just some waterfront activities. Maybe a fishing pier back here. We'll do the nice restaurant pier over here. That's actually a nice view because you're eating your dinner. City as a backdrop across the water. I bet that look beautiful at night. And then I'd like to see if I can't get the marinas and things in here. We'll get rid of all these trees eventually. Marina, a jet ski rental. I have to change the angle of that, and a fishing tour. Those are still really, even though that's really, really short or really low coastline, they're still way above the water. And I hate that because look, how do you get down to that boat? A ladder? How do you get the jet ski in the water? I mean, it's just, these assets just irritate me. And then to get it down low enough to where it looks realistic so that the jet skis are just like right there above the water, the building floods. And if you move it further inland, it still floods. Or maybe not. So that looks a little bit more realistic to me. So let's drop these two to the height of that and see what they do. Flood. Oh, they need water. See, this one's flooding again already because now there's nothing holding the water back. It might be alright. We'll see what happens. We need to kind of like align these better though so I can get a path in here. Yep. And we just want one of our non-leveling paths. Let's turn off all of our guidelines so I can just kind of swoop through here. There we go, and then we will... I want kind of like a walking path around the island, just kind of a scenic thing. Connect it up here, and then we will connect this path up to it. And then we'll bring it back up around the edge here, like right there. I like that. We might do something similar. Well, we're going to have to do something similar on this side. So, these guys, whoa, still aren't happy about connectivity. They want to be by a road, not a path. Okay, so what if we use one of the self-leveling paths? Will they be happy about that? Let's use the zoo path. No, let's use the nature reserve path. Does this satisfy them? Us being connected. No, it wants a road there. So I don't know that we're going to be able to have these. I think these will be okay with a path, though. I think they're happy with a path. Keep going into roads, and I want paths. So let's bring this out to this guy, like right here. He's not happy with the path either. I could have swore that paths would satisfy this demand. I really thought they did. This dude seems happy about it. He just doesn't have water. That's an easy fix. This is all city property. We can budget and just bring water pipes out. And these dudes are complaining about not any water either. Let's give them their water. Yeah, they're still going to complain about no path. And they're flooded. God, that's really annoying. Because look, even though they don't have a path, people are still clearly coming down, or a road. They're still coming to them. Well, it's getting visitors. So it's like, if you're not connected, make sure cars and pedestrians can reach the entrance. They can. They clearly can. I move it closer to the path, maybe? Nah, that's not. Oh, well, we might just have to deal with those. Nah, even this one's not happy. I don't want roads here. I just want a path. Are you getting visitors? Even though... Yeah, they are. They're getting visitors, even though there's no access, technically. So we may just deal with them complaining. So let's see. 226. Oh my god. We've suddenly got a lot of people using this. I don't know that it shows me... Yeah, since there's no line, I can't see where the people are. So that end's getting 226. This end, 242. Wow. That's a lot of people. And now our ferry's getting nothing. So that's what we killed our ferry demand with that. And I'm still not convinced that I like how this looks. But they seem to really like it. And look at all these people flowing into here. I do wish there was a way to tell how many people were waiting here. And I could look in there and see, and then see how many each car gets. About half the people that are waiting. Yeah, I know they technically need a road for services, like especially fire coverage or police coverage. I'm pretty sure there's a path in the Steam Workshop that satisfies this need. Let's find out. Let's look. Let's Google first here real quick. Let me turn on display capture here. Satisfies road access. Introduction question how to place buildings with no access to roads but to pathways. Zonable pedestrian paths, is that what I'm looking for? All right. That's why I used to be able to do it. I used to have network extensions too. I don't think I have that anymore. Yeah, that network extensions was the one that had a lot of problems. Yeah, network expansion too. Don't want to use that because it is, well, it's not on the Steam Workshop anymore. I think you're using the pedestrian only road option for network and pedestrian paths. Your landscape, you know. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it was network extensions that I used to use. Let's see what the workshop says. Zonable path. Zonable highways, zonable highway, bus, cul-de-sac, bus road, grass, visible one lane. Someone created separate paths. Do you know where they are? Or what they are? Sort of most popular. Big Pier's beach entrance, Big Pier's boardwalk, asymmetrical. So it would be under. I don't know. I know. Let's search for that, even though it's not here anymore. Our network extensions 2 still exists. Oh, it's the Harmony. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I really don't want to use network extensions. Trying to see if people mention any alternatives to it. There's a lot of times on the Steam Workshop they do. Let's refine our Google search here. It's just the same thing. Zonable pedestrian roads. Park life paths as roads. Copy that. Let's go actually in the Steam Workshop here. Who makes this? Never heard of them, but 8 zonable roads based on the pedestrian park paths for Park Life DLC. The roads can be elevated as paths connect to normal roads or not connect correctly to other roads based on gravel roads. As you can see in the screens above, they look very similar to the Park Life paths. They do. Two-way one lane, and then I can just ban cars on them, except for service vehicles. I used to have Parkify, but it broke my game, so I got rid of it. So if I subscribe to it while the game's running, I have to like restart the game, right? Let's find out. Come on, finish. You got 3% to go there. You can do it. I believe in you. I think my belief was misplaced because it's not doing jack. Here we go. Take care, Tyler. Have a great night, man. Thanks for hanging out. All right, so back into the game, and I'm gonna have to enable them. So yeah, I'm gonna have to save and exit the game. Thanks for having a consistent schedule. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Have a good night, my friend. Yeah. 5 minutes before the stream. Oh yeah, we're doing this. I'm like, no, we're not. Yeah, we are. I have my stream, yeah, but we've got people waiting on us. I do too. All right, let's restart the game here. Make sure that mod is enabled before we jump in. So we don't want to hit resume. We want to hit play. That way we go to the main menu first. And I'm going to switch back over to game capture. So it'll go blank for just a minute. There we go. Oof, come on. Come on, little birdie. Excuse me. Keep going. There you go. Content manager, mods. Let's just search for the ones that are, toilet, network tiling, public transport. Is it an asset then? It's an asset. Oh, they're already enabled. Okay, cool. So continue game. Let's see if this works. It should. And like I said, we'll just disable everything but service vehicles from going down them. Granted, that's going to add... Well, we were using self-leveling paths anyway, so it'll be okay. It'll be fine. And when 32 gigabytes isn't enough to run a game, oof. Time to upgrade to 64. Look at it, using all of your RAM. 12 gig card, it's like, I'll use 11 and a half of those 12 gigs, thanks. Let's get our butt back on. Yep. All right, so where are they going to be? Under roads? I assume they're going to be under roads. Oh, wait. Oh. Why is that under roads? Oh, here they are. Okay. So I like the zoo one. Or the natural park one. So yeah, I've got to get rid of that. And so now I'm going to have to snap onto the road, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. Let's turn off our snap twos and get this where I want it to go. It was there under roads. Ooh. Causing a bit of a weird graphical thing. I think I can fix that though. So that's not going to connect there anymore. So we'll have to like bring it up like that, and then that path just remain like that. So I just need to do a little adjustment on a couple nodes here. So we'll grab this one, bring it down to the height of that, grab that one, bring it down to the height of that, and grab that one and bring it down to the height of that. That maintains the look that I'm going for. Makes it Kentway. It makes it an actual street, but I'm fine with that. So same thing over here then. We will... Which one do we want to use here? Campus? Campus might not be bad. Campus Park Road connected. Campus Park Road. What's the difference? Oh, it's one way. Okay. So same thing. We will bring it down. Right in front of you. Bring this across this way. Yeah, this is great. Thanks, Jumanji. I would have just left these to suffer. I appreciate it. You're always coming in clutch with good suggestions. It's too short, my ass. There we go. And then I'm going to need to come in with traffic manager and ban cars on this. So no cars. No taxis or buses either, please. And apply that to entire road. That's not... Okay, good. Just there. And then we need to do the same thing down here. Oh, no, we do want trash trucks. Did I ban trash trucks over here by accident? I did not. Good. And then tire road. People cannot drive in there. I think we're just going to have to deal with sporadic flooding because I want these sitting lower. And so it's like, whatever. We'll just deal with it. So people will be able to walk down here still. Let's do just a couple of adjustments here. Bring this a little closer. A little closer. Straighten that out a little bit. Bring this a little closer. Now our road's in the water. Because of course it is. Oh well. There, cool. Can I close that? Thanks. So are people using it? I want to see somebody actually use it. Oh, I like how it puts the little shrubs there. Oh, I thought you were going to use it. We have a concert going. $234 there. Yeah, we must have a concert coming soon. Next concert is Elijah Moti or Matai or however you say it on July 3rd. And it's June 14th. So yeah, people are going to start piling in. As their popularity goes up, I can raise the ticket prices. But I usually wait until I get my first upgrade before I do that. Which, we're a ways away from that. We've got to get 6 concerts played and have at least 1 band at level 70. Which we shouldn't have any problems doing that whatsoever. So that gave me a lot of the same building over and over again, as I was afraid of. So let's make these 2x3s. And 3x2 there, a 3x2 there. There, yeah, I wanted hotels, just not big hotels. So that's totally fine right there. So now we can fill in the rest of these little gaps. Like that. I don't know what I want to do here. Maybe just a park or something. I think I want to connect paths back here. I don't know. There's fencing here, isn't there? Yeah, let's just put a nice fence around that and then landscape it and call it a day. Let's use the amusement park fence. Right here, is that gonna do what I want it to do? It might not be the best fence for this. Then I'm gonna have to leave Anarchy on to go there. Let's see what I think about this now that it's in. I guess it's not bad. It works. Better than like the oil industry fence or anything like this. And then this dude already has chain link all around. Yeah. Cool. Cool, cool. So let's maybe put like a little park or something special here. Let's see. Maybe casino, huge. Fountain, huge. Massive. Massive. That wouldn't be a bad fit over here, honestly, the driving range, but it's so big. Nothing else really under concerts. I mean, I could put the music club in. I thought we already put the music club in. Let's throw a music club in right there. So after the concert's over, you can keep the party going by going to the club. And maybe I never know where this one is. I can never remember the cinema. We can drop that in here, maybe. Yeah, that works well. And then we'll just run a path back here. Space already occupied. Yeah, okay. There, now you're happy, and then we'll just continue that path. Come on, right across like that. There we go. And then we'll do some landscaping and stuff so you can go to the movies. Though I don't know how well the movie theater would do next to a big concert venue, but hey, it's Cities Skylines, it's a video game. We can take liberties. I don't like how this is wanting to line up. Around this corner, and then at the last possible second we can go up. There we go. Cool. Not a bad little relaxation island. Place to go and party, chill, blow off some steam. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this zoned out. Let's do a 2x2 there, 2x3 here. Oh, I have been disconnected from my own chat again. Awesome. Internet's still connected. The stream's still going. That happens periodically. I get disconnected from my own chat. Hey, I'm back in chat. Now I can see my own chat again. Do I want stuff on these edges? I don't think I do. I think I just want to leave them nature. Just make it like a little nature walk that you can go on out there. In general, we're getting a lot of usage out here. I almost kind of want to get like a nice walking path that goes out and over that, but that'd be one hell of a long walking bridge to walk across. We have a ton of foot traffic through here, which is exactly what I was hoping to see. So that makes me happy. And then we'll do a 2x2 there. And that's building in. We'll do a 2x2 there. And that should be all we need. We didn't get quite as many hotels as I was hoping for, but whatever. Not enough workers. You'll get your workers. They have mass transit options to get out here. Put a gravel bridge to that island or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking, is maybe like right off of here and then connecting it up to the pier, just like a straight shot across here and then over behind the park. Let's investigate. Just want this to be nice and straight, so let's start it over here. Let's see what this is going to look like. I guess it's not too shabby. That'll work. And then on this end, we'll make it like this, and I want to bring it out to where it's actually under the pier. Because they could walk on these piers and come down here. I don't know if they will or not, because again, that's a really long way to walk. Whoops. My right mouse button, or the side buttons for some reason. Yeah, there they go. Look at them go. They like it. So, where are you going? You're using public transport going home. So your home is, wow, way over there, and you're going to bike that whole way. Good for you. What about this old dude? Walking, going to Crest Resort. So he's not going as far, but still a pretty good plug. Yeah, look at that. Look at all that pedestrian usage. Holy cow, look at him go. I don't know if I ever downloaded that one. I've got the bicycle path. I used to have it when I had the network extensions. Oh, wait. What? These are paths? I downloaded these the other day. I saw another streamer using them. I didn't realize they counted as paths. I just want to go see what these look like. Well, they're actually fences. I don't know, they're planter boxes. So I can like make my own custom planters out of different materials. That's cool. So we have empty ones, we have ones that already have stuff in them. Wow, I like these. I didn't know that this was part of it, because like under parks, there's like, I think this is where they are. Could be wrong. I don't know where they would be. Thought they were just under parks. Oh yeah, here they are. All these different little plazas that I can use to fill in spaces. And they're ploppable. Like they don't need access to anything. You can just put them anywhere. So that'll fill in areas nicely. And then we can use these to do all that. Why are we? Use picker for what? There's a lot of traffic coming out of here. So I can turn off the main park policy now because it's upgraded. 131 visitors there. We've got 58 visitors there. And then we've got another park here, the Memorial Park, 8 visitors. And our nature center is getting 11 visitors. So not the best in some of our parks, but not bad either. I might have to raise this up some. This is just constantly flooding. And then, yeah, we destroyed our fair usage here, so let's take that number of boats back down. We don't need 4 anymore. You're trying to find something, you can use picker, click on it, and it'll go to that toolbar. Oh, yeah. But I wasn't sure what category they were under and how many of them placed yet. But there's a ton of them. Look at all these like little parks. Just like nice little things. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, they count as like a park score. They have a pretty big radius too. So we could fill in some of our areas like down here. We could like do some nice things. Fill in some of these gaps where should be zoned and isn't. I don't know why. It's odd. But just another option instead of just using regular old boring assets. We've got options now. We also have a massive demand for residential, so let's satisfy that. Let's bring some residential in back here. Yeah, some. We don't have any office demand. I want to keep some tourist type stuff over here. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe a little section here, like right around at the front. We will expand this district to include this block right here for tourism. And I think that'll be sufficient. I do like this whole area with all the sporting arenas. It's technically a part of what school? Part of a university way over here. So, you know, a bit of a trek from the university, but, you know, that's not unheard of for a university to have their stuff not exactly on the campus. All right, let's get to zoning because we've got some big needs going on here. Let's just fill this. Whoops, not just one. Let's fill that whole area there. Then we'll do a little bit of offices, even though we don't have demand for it as a buffer. We're just gonna go way back here. Another little. Actually, no. I just want to keep going. Residential back here, all the way back. We'll need schools back here. So we've got an elementary school there, and that's not going to be nearly enough to satisfy all that. So let's pause real quick before this all gets developed. Let's throw in 2 elementary schools and come in here and give them some playgrounds as well. Just going to go small playground since it is in the city. And then I think 1 high school. That high school covers that whole lower area. We'll need one over here. We might need another one back here. But yeah, I think we'll be all right without them. There we go. We got that. They've got healthcare coverage. They mostly have death care coverage. I could probably use 1 more back there. They've got good fire coverage, and they have good police coverage. So this area should fill in quite nicely. And I still just don't know what I want to do with these areas here. The only thing I can think of is maybe just bring in like curved roads that like kind of follow the different train heights and just like modify the train a little bit to have kind of a tiered neighborhood. It's the only thing I can really think to do. But first, we need to let this fill in. Why is the city only making 13,000? Why is the city not making money at all? We're making almost $500,000 over here. We're making pretty good for tourism. We're making good on our airport. We're making money on our schools. What is costing us so much freaking money? Industry is costing a lot to run, but we should be making more. Yeah, we're making double, almost triple. Healthcare is surprisingly expensive, despite the fact that we have the medical center. We don't need hospitals and clinics anymore. Did I forget to remove those? Those are all pools and gymnasiums, and I want to keep them because they're there more to make high school campuses. So yeah, I don't have a single clinic. Man, all those pools and add up, don't they? And there's a gymnasium there. Yeah, I guess they just add up. Oh, what happened over here? Our high school doesn't tell me what happened to it. It just says it's ready for rebuilding. Maybe it burned down? Do they not have fire coverage over here? Not the best. We could do another fire station. Let's just squeeze that in right there. That should give coverage to both sides, yeah? For the most part. We still got a little bit in the brown there. Police coverage also not the best back there, so we'll see if we can't squeeze in a police station right there as well. Just kind of like in their backyard of the police station. The fire station is the big tall radio mast. Makes sense to me. We're all emergency services, little campus. So hopefully we won't have it burn down high school anymore. Not the best fire coverage in this area in general. Oof. So let's work in some more fire stations. Especially over here in our industry that's bringing in a ton of cash. Over here on our university campus, we could use one. But that one should really reach over to there. I don't see why it's not. Yeah, I really don't want to put another one over here. We'll just have to risk it. What we do need, though, is in our nature center, just a little bit better coverage. Let's go up here where these other towers are, so it just kind of blends in. Put a fire watch tower up there, and that should blanket that whole hillside really well. Yeah. We've got like a couple pockets of trees. Actually, those are campsites that don't have the best visibility coverage. You'd think it would. Look at all this out here just waiting to burn down. That's why our fire hazard's still so high on the city. It's all these trees. Because for the most part, it looks like we've got good coverage. Every once in a while you get a building like this that just doesn't, it says it's not covered, but it clearly is. Because everything else around it's covered. So, not sure why that's reporting it that way. Airport's not all that busy. Oh, it says 200 active flights. That does not look like 200 active flights to me. What's going on here? I see what's going on here. They're stopping there, and they're not supposed to. There we go. Just let that flow right through. That should take care of that. Whoops. I was thinking I can escape to get out of that thing, and no, you can't. That doesn't work. Our lane switchers are causing a bit of a problem here. And by a bit, I mean a lot. In fact, they are the problem. It's the lane switchers. This would be flowing a whole lot better if people weren't stopping to change lanes. What's our traffic? Oh, that's not good. 77 is not good at all. Where are our hot spots? Other than over there. Probably back here by the cargo depot. No, it's actually, aside from a little bit right here, it's moving all right. It's fine there. This is busy but flowing. No traffic over here. Holy crap. That's pretty impressive given that this is all high density stuff. Nothing. No parking over here to speak of, but the traffic's moving fine. Heavy traffic in through this area, but it looks like they're figuring it out. Despite the lack of a traffic light right there. It's right here. They're having trouble getting on the roundabout. It's because they're all wanting to choose this outside lane. I might be able to help that a little bit by doing this. This. So let's get rid of going straight on that lane, make that right only, but give them a secondary so that they can stay in this inner lane and still make a right-hand turn onto the roundabout. And see if that doesn't help some of our traffic flow through there. And then these guys coming up this way all want in that left-hand lane. Why are you guys not yielding? Why does this keep happening? It's set up that they're to yield and that they can carry on. And yet the opposite is happening. They're yielding and these guys are carrying on. That's been happening more and more with roundabouts. Oof, this is not good. This is all lane changers, isn't it? Yep. Look, stay in your lane down here, please. Pick your lane here. Whoa, cop! He's just like, I need to go over there for a minute. Holy crap! Yeah, see, if you pick your lane there, you're good. You're golden. I could maybe do a little work on these roundabouts so they can carry more speed going into the roundabout. And to do that, you just got to make the intersection a little bigger. So we want to move back the blue one. And that makes that a gentler turn. And it also makes it an easier turn for people coming off the roundabout. These guys lane switching still. What the hell? Everybody just wants to be in that right-hand lane. Ah, haha. I did not realize that was set to go straight. No wonder they don't want to use that lane for anything. It's just for them to turn around and come back. Of course they're not going to take it. That's probably going to help this roundabout out a lot now. Though these guys have already chosen their path, they're going to need a second to figure it out. I'm seeing a bit of behavior I don't want here, though. This middle lane is cutting into the outer lane. So let's control that movement a little bit better. So you can go there. You can go there or there or there. And you can go here or here. Still lets people get across the roundabout, but we don't have them crossing in front of each other now. Yeah, this side's moving a lot better. We still have heat big trouble right here. Let's try expanding out that a little bit just to help it flow a little better. So the green one, move it back to about 20 as well. And see if that helps at all. Nope. So they're all wanting to be in that right-hand lane, except for this guy who wants to be in the left-hand lane. So annoying. And then these dudes who are yielding to them and shouldn't be, which is causing this side to back up. This side's beautiful now, though. What did that little bit do for us? It went down 1%. Awesome. I could probably also help this out a little bit by giving them just a couple more lanes to come out of here. Let's find that road. Wish these were underpaths. Really want the 3-lane one. There it is. Just want to give those cars that are coming through here an area to spread out a little bit more. Well, it's kind of clearing up on its own, though. But we still have these dudes yielding to these guys, even though they're not supposed to. I don't get that. I really don't understand why they don't follow the traffic rules. Is it a setting in the mod itself that's causing that? It's all just simulation accuracy. It's very high. We've got dynamic lane selection, but that shouldn't cause that. We've got them, it's strict. So policies, roundabouts. Stay in lane inside the roundabout, stay in lane on roads approaching the roundabout. Yeah, that sounds right. I don't quite get why they're not obeying the rules. But it's clearing up now. A lot of traffic coming from this direction. Most of it going straight on. And then a lot of it jumping into this inner lane because they're wanting to go on around. I can probably do with upgrading this to give these dudes multiple ways in and out. And then I'm going to do something I don't really like doing. I'm going to add an extra lane here on this side so that we have 2 lanes that go straight. I'd like the trees in the middle if all possible. No, that's 6 lane. I want a 5 lane. Trees. Do I have a 5 lane with trees? In the middle? I know I've got a 5 lane with trees on the side, but I want a 5 lane with trees in the middle. It looks like we do not, so let's double check here and see if there's one. Nope. Gonna have to have trees on the side. Oh well. So let's do that then. We're gonna upgrade that. Turn it around. And I think I'm going to give them a 3rd lane to exit into here. Just to help the people going straight on. There, that's moving better. This side's... Yeah, I got my 3-2. It just wasn't there. There's not one. I couldn't remember if there was one or not one, but there's just not one. So that helped out here. This side's moving better now because we don't have all of these guys all bunched up and causing frequent interruptions here. It's less frequent because they can choose their lane now and not be all piled up. These dudes are doing better because they've got a... They're not... The people turning right have their dedicated line. You ever change trees on the road? Yeah. Yeah. See, these have different trees. I just haven't done it lately. There, now they match. Yeah, we've got different trees there. Over here by the university. I went with like... whatever those are. The purpley ones. Somewhere there's a different tree that I added. You don't like any of the trees? I do like how they scale. Here it's just a default tree. Like, there we go. This one, this big horse chestnut. Like, if you just build one, if you just put one out, it's a big, huge honking tree. Where is it? Chestnut. Chestnut. There it is. Pretty large. Okay, it gives me the smallest example of it, but it's a pretty big tree. But if you put it on the road, it's not that bad. I like the division it creates. It's a big, big, nice leafy tree. But since it grows so narrow, it doesn't overpower the road. Yeah, I do occasionally change trees out. I just haven't done it in a while. Somewhere up here, yeah, these are all... This area all has maples since it's the maple district. So there's all maple trees for the most part down this way. What's the train station doing? Oh, good. Still wish they would fix this. I don't know what broke that. And we never finished developing this area. Like, that was going to be where we developed, then I realized that we really needed to work on that. Oh my god, the prison's on fire. Well, the prison itself's not on fire. Just all those trees we planted earlier are. They gotta go all the way over there for their source of water. And they're also in the flight path of all the jets. That's safe. How many people do we have in prison? 660. A lot of people in jail. How's this area doing? Ah, it's looking good. Are you leveling up? Nope, why not? Educate more citizens. Well, that's going to take a while. They have schools nearby, so go to school. Do it. You know what I don't have anywhere in the city? I don't think I have a single library. Give them a library. You can have a library. We also could use some parks in this area because, well, we have those two, and it has good coverage. How does this city have such good park coverage? Must be all the monuments I have. They just have a massive, massive range. Not really. So I don't ever use the fusion power plant because if it catches on fire, you lose your power. I don't use the Doomsday Vault because it costs 17,000 and all it does is let you store a little bit more stuff in the shelters. What is what button? Which one? The one you said you want them to fix. God. Now I gotta remember what it was. The trains. It's broke. I don't know if a mod broke it or not, but the allow intercity trains. You can't click it. And I think that's just vanilla has a problem. There's a mod that you can download that fixes this. I just keep forgetting to get it. But like, I don't want intercity trains going to all my train stations. I only want them going here. I don't want intercity trains showing up here, and I don't want intercity trains showing up over here. But I can't do anything about it. And because it's not just the trains, I would really like to add in the Hadron Collider, but I want to disable the university boost, but I can't. It's broken. You just can't click it. So it's all these little radio buttons. I don't want this to educate my university students, because then my universities will just start losing money because nobody will go to the university. But that would be one way I could save a ton of money in town is I could run that for 9,600 a week, which would significantly reduce. So I'm paying basically $88,000 a week for education. A big chunk of that is the universities, but the rest of it is all the high schools and elementary schools. If I could eliminate all those high schools and elementary schools, I could actually save the city some money every week. Not that we're hurting for money. We have $362 million. But still, is this ready to be upgraded? No. However, we can start bumping up ticket prices because their popularity is climbing. So we can make some more money off of this thing. And then when it gets an upgrade, I'm pretty sure the main stage goes down there. Though now we've got that right there. Ooh. And that's not going to be the view that I wanted. I know it's getting a ton of usage, but I don't like it. 500 people a week. I don't like it. Maybe if I moved it over a little bit, well, then that walkway would be in the way for that. Yeah, I don't know. This area is really nice, though. I'm really pleased with how just this little leisure island turned out. Sheffield Heights, Primrose Hills. Whatever. It turned out really nice. So we've got Young Street intersecting itself. And then several times, in fact. Oof. Oh my god, it goes... Okay, so let's get rid of it here. Come on. Go there. And now... Come on, let me do this. How am I going to get this to stop intersecting itself? Give me the nut. Give me that. There we go. Bring it that way. Bring it that way. Around. Come on. Come on. Keep doing it. Keep going. Go back. I want it to end here. Is that a node there? No, that's just showing me that's what I selected. Look, dude, come on. I don't want Young Street to intersect the same street twice. Allow intercity trains, yeah. That's the one. I just keep forgetting to download it. That's all it comes to. Why do you want to do that? Don't. Look, man. I'm okay with Young Street being, like all the way through here. That's fine. I mean, though I'm not okay with it going all the way up to there. I want it to terminate there. I mean, that's clearly all the same street, so that's fine. It all connects, but I don't want it coming down here. But it will not let me go up there. Let's do that. It's not what I'm after. What if we just bring it... No, I can't even bring it back here. It just won't. It just refuses. So, what if we make this a different street then, once it gets out to here? Well, let me bring it back to here. No. That is super annoying. So, we will come out of that view. We will not be underground. I'm going to delete that. Come in here. Redo this. Now it terminates there. So, let's give this a different name. Let's just call this the Ferryway. And that should go there to there. And put this back in. Hopefully, made that its own little street, but I can fix that. Cool. And now Young Street ends where I want it to. Cool. Cedric has the same problem. Just going everywhere. And it shouldn't do that. It should be just back here. Guess I'm gonna have to be okay with it being right there. Okay, so King Street now doing the same thing. Kent. Rather you not do that. Rosewood. They're all pain in my ass. Oscar. Yeah, I don't want a street that intersects the. See, now you've got two intersections between Chapman and Oscar, and that makes no sense. So we're gonna bring. Oh, that's path. Okay, so we can't bring that over that way. Let's bring this to here. Oscar, Finch, Ferry, Rosewood, Kent. Kent's behaving, Young's behaving, Oscar's behaving, Cedric's behaving, King, Rosewood. Okay, they're all behaving now. As they should. I'm just really amazed at how well this area is doing. I didn't expect nearly this number of tourists to come over here. It's kind of... So we started out tonight with 3,000 tourists. We're at 2998. So we've gained about 200 more tourists. And we've brought our city attractiveness up 1% more. So we're at 93% on city attractiveness, which is kind of freaking awesome. This area here is going to take time to fill out. We still have no office demand, mainly because unemployment's so low. There's just nowhere for them to. We don't need it. So let's figure out what we're going to do back here to deal with these different terrain heights. So I want to make a connection. Like, I want to get a couple connections over. Oh, dear God. Hello, traffic. We already have a really big nature center with campgrounds, climbing, hunting, all of it. I don't know that the city's big enough yet to support a second one. I'd rather just fill this in with some lower density stuff like this. You know, it's not the big high rises. With the high rise ban on it. I need to get some city services out this direction, like garbage pickup and stuff like that, because all my garbage is centralized here. And here, though, if I could get a connection across the road here, that would help tremendously. So let's investigate that and see where I can get some connectivity in here. So we want to bring this out when all my snap twos on. Bring that to there, and then get this to be a bridge that will actually go over. It's going to have to go up about 9 meters, I think, is the magic number to get over a highway, yeah. We'll bring it out the full 12 to come back down. And then that can help inform where we're going to do some other things. I think I'm just going to do a tiered neighborhood here. Like level to this, level to here, and level to that. And just do some streets. We'll have some bigger backyards, stuff like that. But I want this to carry through and come over to here. So let's make that connection. So where do I want this to come out? Like right, yeah, you're right there. So we'll bring it down pretty quick to that line. Does it? I think you've told me that before and I forgot. I'm really bad with the shortcuts. Like remembering what they are. So maybe this isn't where I want this to go. Let's go here. I really would rather that go in at a 90 degree. I really don't have anywhere for it to go into the 90 degree if I go here. I need to grade this first before I build it. Otherwise, it's going to cause problems later. So, let's do that. get this area graded out to this level. Right there on the edge where the road's going to go. And we'll work on these nasty jagged bits in a minute. I want this area to come right up to that line. Or I may just leave the cliffs. I haven't quite decided yet. And then this area here, we will come from off of here. Bring this up to this line, roughly. Ooh, that's really high above there, though. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. Let me do it and then see what it looks like out of this view. That might be too much. No, I'm actually okay with that because we're going to bring a road right alongside that, so I'm fine with that. Okay. So now I can come in here. Ooh, now you're not on the ground though. So let's fix this bridge real fast. So the home key takes you back to 0. Let's see. Cool. Oh, cool. Awesome. That's still not quite there though. So I need to go out a little bit farther. But if I go out farther, yeah, it's going to do that, and that's not what I want at all. Fine. We have other ways of making this work. Let's put that in, just as a thing. Bring that to the ground, and then you just move it to align that to that. There's no way that's the same height. No, I guess it is. Okay, never mind. Cool. Now let's figure out what this road's going to come through. We want it to follow this right here. So we've got to get it to turn really fast. Like there, and then now we're below ground. What the hell's happening? I'll do that. Oh, I see what's going on. So let's get our train view back. Bring this in. Actually, let's do our straight bit first, because I know where I want that to go. I want to follow right along this ridge to out there, and then we can just use our curve road tool and make a nice curve in. And now, hopefully, here we can get a nice clean connection as well. Yep. So that works. So now we can bring all of this land right up to the edge of this road. I am really okay with the sheer cliff right next to, or cliff right next to this road. Because I think I still have key anarchy installed. And if I do, it will give me the ability to do what I want to do here. Go ahead and bring this out for now. I will probably taper this section off because that looks hideous. But along this area, pretty sure I can use my key walls, even though there's no water here. Be there, but it's not wanting to go there. Yeah, I can use them. Yeah, that's the look I'm going for. Make it look like a retaining wall. I like that. And then we could also bring paths along back there. I like it. And then go here and around. Right about like that. And then we'll smooth this off and make this our transition, or just bring it on straight in. Oh, let's see what that looks like. Let's get rid of our curve for now. Follow this straight back. Not wanting to snap to my bridge. There's a node there. Choose anarchy for now. I may just bring it on around the highway too. This doesn't look bad. Looks a little funky right here because it got a little farther away. But this part, I'm really pleased with. I like that a lot. All right, so let's finish this side. That to go right about there. It's not wanting to follow the road. It's fine. We'll just use anarchy to fix it. That up. Bring that in. That in. Make that a little less curved. Needs to be a little closer still. It's kind of hard to see because this is in the shadow. Just want it to be fairly consistent in distance away from the road. And I think that's just about got it. Yeah, not 100% certain what I want to do back here. Maybe we don't keep this bit, and this is where we taper this back off, and we soften here. And this just kind of leads up to that. I think that'll look a little bit better. Though it's making a weird, funky edge right there. I think I can deal with the weird, funky edge, though, by doing this right here. Let's bring this straight back off until we're at ground level back here. No, that did not fix it. Not one bit. In fact, it's just as bad, but in a different way. And it won't let me level that out. Alright. The rounded edges are what's causing my problem here. So what if we bring this bit a little farther forward? I think this might work. Let's bring this... No. I want to do that. There we go. Let's bring this back up again. Let's bring it down to the ground. Like that. Yeah, there we go. That works. And that lets me have a slope over here. I think that works fine. Am I leveling? I'm leveling. I want to soften. Yeah, that works. I like it. And then we can just connect a path back here. Now this end, I want it to continue on around this corner, but it's not going to make a nice 90 degree. I was right about this needing this connectivity. Look at how busy this is already. We're going to have to do something about the amount of traffic coming down it, but... And it's hopefully relieve some of this. Nope, this is still just as nasty, and we're going to have to deal with that too. So let's try bringing this down that height here, and we'll just lose a little bit of zonable space here. Just kind of soften that out. Yeah, I like that. So it's a retaining wall that is built to meet the bridge. Wow, this is incredibly busy here. Everybody's wanting to go this direction. Once it gets out over here, they're fanning out in enough places that it's not causing problems over here. It's just right here. And we've got this as an issue. This might need to be upgraded. And just take these buildings off of here. I say that, and then look, it gets better. And then a couple random people are like, "Oh, I need to change lanes." So I think if I had, if made this have more lanes, I think I could even do 6 lane down through there. That whole run. I mean, it makes it more like an arterial, but If it helps that through traffic keep moving, I'm okay with it. And then I want to bring that down to the 3+2. Where is it? I know you can search for these things, but I just kind of like scrolling through. There. Oh, that looks awful. That looks terrible. Okay, do I have a highway that'll do that then? I think I do. I thought I had a 3-2 highway. I apparently don't have a 3-2 highway. Okay. I thought I did. Go back through. No, I don't. Okay, whatever. Then let's find something that's not going to look so super hideous. I think these dudes are our answer. That looks a little better. Our lanes still don't quite match up though, but whatever. Yeah, I think I'm alright with that because the straight through lanes connect. Ooh, that helped out a lot through here. Look at that. Give them that second option. Is there a bus stop there? Dumb place for a bus stop. Oh, there's not a bus stop there. He was just trying to change lanes. So I helped that out. This is all backed up. I really do like that retaining wall. I'm very happy about that. And that gives me room to expand this neighborhood all the way up to here and even change out the grid. Like we could just grid it off of the wall. So we could turn a corner and have that go that way. Just to break that up. So it's people leaving the area mainly that are causing our problem here. And they're just backed up all throughout. The big problem is this collector does not connect to the collector. Like it's interrupted, so they have to go around. But that's not what's causing this problem. That's what's causing this problem, though. Because this is a collector couplet, because that's one way, that's one way. So that, these two function together as one big collector. What do we do about you guys? I don't think a signal's warranted because we don't have a whole lot of traffic coming this way. It'll just increase back up this direction and this direction. But everyone is wanting to turn left there. And while I do plan on bringing like 1 or 2 more streets, like I can't bring that street over. I might bring this street over and connect it there. And I'm going to try to get these over, but it's so close to the highway, I don't think it's going to be possible. Though I don't need that road because that's off of, that's there, that's back there, so they can just go around. I could actually just sever this and start the bridge here and bring it over. Yeah, these dudes are just having problems. I wonder if it'll clear up once everybody gets out. Where are they coming from? Let's see. Yeah, it's this whole thing. Man, that's a lot of private vehicles. That tells me I don't have enough mass transit meeting their needs. Where are they going then? They're jumping on the highway. Most of them are leaving, so these are tourists. Very few are going into the city. Some are apparently going to work. We do have a lot of them coming this way and coming up here, but that's not our issue. It's this guy here. Let's see where they're going once they're over here. Going to work, going here, and then coming way the hell over here. Where they're coming from there, okay. So that tells me that we're lacking transit from here to here. Which Yeah, I guess we technically are, because their only route to use mass transit would be to use a bus, take it to the one subway stop, which is here, take the subway all the way over to here, jump on the train, and then take the train across. And that's a massive long trip. And they're seeing it better to drive than use mass transit. Though, my suspicion that it would clear up after a while might be coming true. And we might be alright. So this is going a lot better. This is always going to be a problem. It's just all this freaking airport traffic. And there's not a lot I can really do about it. I don't get why the buses are not sticking in the lane. Where are you going that you're not sticking in the lane? Oof, that's a lot of people waiting. So upgrade your bus. Oh yeah, I think that is the better bus to have. That one holds 60. This one holds 50. Yeah, that is the better bus to have. I want to keep it an airport bus because it's at the airport. Why aren't they following that though? Like, where does that? Well, now I can't see where that route goes because I took it out. Oh, they turn left, so they have to go there. Even though the bus lane is set to be able to turn left. But this just remains a nasty intersection. And the same thing's happening back here. Great. Awesome. What can we do about this? It's the people not wanting to turn left that are causing my problems. So if we give them extra straight through lanes, does that help them any? Well, there's my 3-2 right there. Let's continue that down there. People don't have a whole lot coming this way, but we do have a lot going that way. And they don't turn left here, so that gives them 2 straight throughs. But then you're wanting to all merge into that lane, so that doesn't really help us any. Traffic. Always a pain in the ass. One thing we can do over here to help is tell them they don't have to wait to go to the intersection. Let them block the box, as it were. Let these dudes all go in this way. Just continue. This is set that way, but there's just so much happening right here. With all the pedestrians and everything. The only thing I could do here would be to work in a pedestrian overpass. And then ban pedestrians on this. That's really my only choice. I guess I have room to do that, though. I could just bring it down here. I bring it across and then bring it down, and then they can just walk back. Let's explore that as an option and see if it helps. This building right here is going to have to move over one. That's fine. Budget hotel has been relocated. I moved it to whatever. So let's tell it this isn't. And bring this up. That should only have to go 7 meters to get across. Yeah. I've got anarchy on. Let's make sure that's correct. Come on. I know that space is already occupied. That's not where I'm wanting you to go. And you go right there. You want to do it, and then you don't want to do it. Come on. You were there. There we go. And then bring it down. Here we're going to have to use anarchy because it's not quite straight. We'll fix it though. Is that too steep? It's steep, but I don't think it's too steep. So let's line this up a little bit better. Bring it out right there. Straighten this out. There we go. Now the test is to ban crosswalks right here. No crossing there, and then the same thing on this one. And we should see all those people crossing here and here. It'll still slow down the people turning in. Well, you gotta let them cross so they can get to all the different places. So we should see all these dudes, instead of walking across, now coming across here. And indeed we are. Excellent. I like these little parks that will serve as pathways. I think they're really cool. Granted, it makes everybody snake in through around them, but whatever. They're cool looking little parks. I like them a lot. To satisfy a park need, but they also give you a path, which is kind of cool. This intersection looks weird. Why? It's all just 4 lane, isn't it? Oh no, this is 6 lane. Ah, that's why it looks so weird. Holy cow, that is a lot of pedestrian activity. Look at that. That looks so cool. I bet you most of them are tourists. No, actually. I mean, no, they are, yeah. Most of them are tourists. Awesome. Let's move this back over. There we go. Doesn't look like those are really getting that much usage. 28 visitors. 28, 22. This, though, this is a popular destination. And we've got it connected by numerous paths in throughout here, so that people walking down the road can get there. All right, so we took care of this backup, but this is still backed up because everyone wants to turn right. So not a lot I'm going to be able to do about that. And then there's this still that is just the bane of my existence. One thing I can think of is maybe make this 3 lane here, so that we've got straight left and right. That might help. Or just abandon the bus lane. 3 lane one way. Let's do a nice little one with sidewalks, grassy sidewalks. There we go. Let's see if that helps at all. No, they all just want to get in the same lane. Bastards. Why does this shoot out to the edge like that? Is that not... I think we can make look better. Or is that going to make that ramp funky? It makes that ramp funky, doesn't it? I can live with it. Bus is like, I was on a road a minute ago. This is just a nightmare. That I don't really know how to resolve, other than not letting this be a connection here. But my parking garages are connected there, I think. Yeah, that's where they orient. Let's be sure of that. Yep. I could eliminate the straight through movement and make it double right and double left out of that middle lane, so you can go left or right. But most people are wanting to go left or right. Very few are going straight. Right turn only is the simplest. Yeah, but then if I do that, like anybody that wants to go over here, if I make them turn right, then they're just going to become problems turning left. I mean, we could try it. I'm willing to give it a try. How are you doing? Kills pain. Kills pain. Let's try it. Let's just do 2 lane, 1 way. Once I find it. And then make those both just right-hand turns. The buses will ignore it, I think. See if that helps at all. So they're dealing with 2 issues here. A little bit of it's pedestrian, which we can take care of that, but they never really get a break in traffic here. Why? Yeah, see, the buses will ignore it. This bus does need to go right, because that's a shuttle bus between the airport and our bus terminal. I just don't understand why there's so much pedestrian usage here. Our airport lines just must not be keeping up. Yeah, they're not. Look at all those people. The bus lines just cannot keep up. I guess I could bump this up to 100%. That might help. I guess at some point we weren't seeing that much usage, and that's why I bumped it down. That one is at 100%. Oh my god, there's 1,000 people waiting to ride. Ooh, man. What line is this? That just goes out of that way to take them into this area. That's the one that's turning left out of there. And even that's falling behind. I've got the highest capacity bus I can have on this line. And here comes one right now. Are they bunched up? Is that part of our problem? That could be part of our problem. 1,100, soon to be 1,200. Oh my god. There is a metro station. That's the thing. There is. So there's a metro loop between the 3 terminals. And it goes both directions, so they can, if they're here, they can just jump over to here. And then we've got a metro. The only thing that I can think I might be able to make better is to add an express. Because currently they have to go all the way through town. And if they're wanting to go to this bus station, I could probably just, like, loop this off of here and make an express across. And just have it ping back and forth between those two. I'm a little worried that it might cause issues with the metro. But it's definitely something that we could try. Because maybe that's why they're not taking the metro. Is, it's just they have to go through, like, there's a stop here, there's a stop here, there's a stop here, there's a stop here. And that bus is just going here. The Metro Intercity Bus Hub. That's just... So they're wanting to go there. I don't know that I could get a cable car that would look right going through here. Oh my god, this is backed up again. This was fine a minute ago. Traffic patterns in this game. We do have a cable car in our map. And it moves once when there's a concert, it's moving a lot of people. When there's no concert going, it's pretty quiet. We also have ferry line that services this island, or they can drive. Surprisingly, a number of people were walking over here, but they've chilled out. This bridge isn't getting nearly as much. People do like to walk, yeah, but clearly they're wanting to take the bus from here to there. So if I could add a higher capacity thing, I don't know that it's going to solve it, but I'm willing to try it. Let's see if I can't get this to just spur off right here where this comes out. Can I do it without anarchy? Why are we above ground? Why are you wanting to destroy my fence? You're not supposed to be above ground. Make this not such a sharp turn. Not kind of like that. We're aiming for right over there, so let's straighten it out. Oh, we've got a tunnel in the way. We're gonna have to go under it. Oh, it's fine. And then bring it right to about there, and then try to make a nice connection into this without it looking stupid. That's what I was afraid of. This is going to have to kind of come out like this. Oh, look, I don't want you to go above ground. Stop it. Yeah. Okay, like, it's not too steep. Oh, that is a lot lower, isn't it? Yeah. I need my underground bulldozer. Try this again. And start bringing this up a little bit. As we make this turn here. Now let's see if we can't get a nice connection with our curved road tool. There we go. And then hopefully we're not going to destroy our traffic. You've never used a bus line? Which side is that on? It's on that side. Let's see if I can convince it to be on this side. I'd really like it to be on that side. From there, you make them walk. Nice. To there. And then back again. Are you on the side I want you to be on? You are. Let's change the color of that just so I can differentiate between the two lines. It's that one. Make that red, and we will call that Airport Bus Terminal. It's gonna take a while for us to see if that's even helping. I'm gonna go ahead and put a pretty high capacity metro on it. Look at the number of people streaming through our airport, though. That's just insane. I love it when you... I wish you could go inside these buildings and actually see them moving around. So the people who are already in line, they do like monorail over metro a lot. My problem with monorail is how it gets the same problem bus lines get. Like, they seem to prefer it over everything else. And so you wind up with metro or monorail stations just crammed, and they're ignoring your buses, your monorail, or your metros, your trains, and all that. It's like, I want to ride the monorail. It's like they watched that episode of The Simpsons or something. But yeah, we've got a lot of people moving throughout our airport. A lot. Like the line that, like, 1,000 people are using just the loops that take them to the different terminals. So it's pretty freaking cool that we're seeing that much use. We've got our train station over here. Tons and tons of people. Tons of people using the metro. It's like you can even see where there's stairs inside the buildings. Like, it's really cool. That's why I wish we could go inside buildings easier than when using a camera mod. Because look at that. This airport is jumping, man. We've got 347 weekly flights coming in and out of this massive place. Don't know how many of those are cargo. I'm guessing not a ton, given that there's not a lot of traffic back here. It's just we've got so many plane stands. Oh, that's not good. Thank you. I'm like, can we put that out, please? So let's see if anybody's starting to use our news station yet. Not yet. I'm not optimistic that they will, because they see this bus line. I had that mod, but it was causing me some problems that let me edit how many people could ride a vehicle. Like, I really think this Bindi bus. So realistically, a bus like this can carry 60 people. So let's look. Let's look. I know this is a double decker, but even the single bus, like your crush capacity, you could easily get 45, maybe even 50 people on a bus that size. This Bindi bus should be able to carry like 45 at crush capacity right there. Easy. And in that, these two together should be able to get like another 60, 70. So 100's a little bit low for the Super Bindi bus. So I'd really like to bump that up to like 125, 130. I kind of missed that mod, but it kept breaking things with my mass transit, so I got rid of it. So they're all wanting to turn right out of that lane, even though both... I haven't, like, restricted their ability to change lanes here, have I? No. Alright. We're gonna Look, you and you can have that lane. You and you can have that one. Okay? Can we agree on this? Because they both turn right, and then you can switch lanes right here. If you really need to go straight, you can get out of that left-hand turn lane. And maybe that will help this clear out a little bit. Because that's part of our problem with our bus service, is they're just sitting in traffic for so long. And the reason they're sitting in traffic for so long, it's kind of a catch-22 right here. Because eventually they get bored and they get their car and they just get in their car and drive. So if we could get the cars cleared out, we could get the buses through quicker, which would be more people riding the bus, fewer cars up here. I could restrict them, yeah, to go straight across there. That's not a bad idea. Yep. Let's see if so. This one's still gonna have a little bit of trouble because they're still dealing with these guys. But this inside one, this should clear out a lot faster than it is. I don't get what the hesitation right there is about. That shouldn't, yeah, it's set to just let them go. Is the pedestrians? Fine, we'll get rid of pedestrians, make them cross down there. Oh, you think I should send them all the way over there? Good try. My worry is that we're then going to just wind up with a really bad congestion here, people getting back out of that lane. Top is clearing up nicely. If we can get the bottom to do the same thing. So far, so good. We do have people merging across because they don't want to turn left there, but as long as we don't get just a backup because of people changing lanes there. The top's clearing up. In fact, I'd say the top is now fine. And look, now that the buses are able to come more frequently, look how fewer cars are spawning up here. Some of that is through traffic. I wish there was a way for me to, like, force the through traffic to go down here, other than... Well, our speed limit should be set, though. Yeah, this is a much lower speed limit up through here. So this should be the preferred route because of the speed limits. Yeah, it definitely should be. So I don't know why they would want to turn right there and come through this mess. All right, so this is clearing out. This side road is cleared out. So we've just got a little bit remaining here. And that's going to help our buses quite a bit. So yeah, good call on the left lane because we're not... There's just not so much traffic coming this way that it's causing any problems with lane switching. So very good call. Appreciate that. And then the only ones that are still going to turn left here are these buses, or they go straight, one of the two. But I've got it set so that buses... Well, never mind. He is going to go down and around. I've got it set so buses can ignore lane arrows. Maybe it's the... Maybe it's this guy that turns left. One of them. Yeah, it's probably him because he services that rural area. Oh dear God. Yeah, I like solving traffic problems too. I probably spend more time working on traffic than anything else in City Skylines. I could probably solve this problem by moving the bus stop here and here instead of having them right there. Let's spread these bus stops out. Come on, give me the... no. I want that stop right there. There we go. Let's move that one to there. Move that one to there. And see, everybody got out of the bus line, really? Just because I moved? Oh, no, they're moving. There they go. Look at them go! So maybe by not having it centered with the two bus stops, we can get rid of some of that traffic between the two buses. So the longer one now stops up here. The shorter one now stops there. Yeah, I think that's better than having the buses backed up waiting on each other to get out of the way. And then I only have one bus stop down here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's only one line that comes down here. So that'll help those two lines get through a little bit better. And then I think we've got enough buses on the routes. I think it's just going to be a matter of waiting for them to unbunch because they were bunched up for so long. That is probably our most used route. No. It's one of these, this one. We've already got 400 fewer people waiting. I like that the buses are always full. So we could maybe put, now that the traffic's moving, now we could maybe put more buses, but see, they're bunched up. Are they getting stuck down here now? Yeah, see, now they're having trouble getting back on the highway. Oh, it's only two. Well, here comes a third. What route are you taking? Oh, that must be a different bus line. They're just having so much trouble getting out. This is such a busy intersection. I don't know why the industry is insisted on sending out trucks when I've got this dude right here. It makes zero sense for them to ship by truck. And it was working better than this, but of course the more effective transfer mod is no more. Why are you guys not going? What the? Like, oh, he's looking at us go. Why are... No, this movement gets priority. What is happening there? I don't know why that wasn't set that way. I may have... Not that they pay any attention to the yield signs. Oh, this is getting better here. Just go! Go! What are you waiting on? Go! Dude! Oh, it's an old person. More effective transfer was removed from the Steam Workshop. It was caught doing naughty things. It was automatically downloading stuff from GitHub repositories and adding them to the game. Some of which apparently had some privacy implications. No, I loved it. I miss it greatly. Just add trees. I'm not ever going to zone anything there. I'm not going to have paths or parks or anything like that. Let's just make it, you know, treesy. It's 11:18. I need to wrap it up soon. I started late, though, and I hate... It did work. It worked phenomenally well. Is there a new one that has taken its place? Because if so, I want it. Look, don't try to hug that. Go. Why are you trying to hug that line? Go right there. You go. Good tree. It's very unrealistic to have these guide wire cables go over a road. I guess in a temperate map like this, it's not as big of a deal, but if you was on a snowy map, you wouldn't want that. Not that it happens in the game, but in real life, ice forms. massive icicles form on these wires and could kill a person if it falls on a car. The traffic is still just bad here, and this is oriented off this side road, but it's just, it just backs up from time to time when all the buses show up at once. Rebalanced Industries, I'll check that out. In fact, let's look at it right now. Did I spell that wrong? I think that's how you spell rebalanced. Oh, Cuboid. Well, didn't Cuboid make the other one that was having a problem? Oh no, Cuboid's the one who won the freaking thing. Never mind, that's why I recognize the name. Please don't second load with this mod. Second loads loaded in. Oh yeah, I don't do that. Fix traffic morning industries DLC with rebalanced industries. Rebind. Oh, nice name. Uses cargo traffic and employee numbers. I don't want to reduce my employee numbers though. Does not affect zoned industry, and it's my zoned industry is causing the problem. Though I do have warehouses for my commercial goods, so maybe this will help. Oh, this, I don't know if you saw the I'm hesitant to get this because it doesn't do anything for regular industry. But we have a massive oil industry going on over here. Huge. Like, this is where our town is getting its money from. It consistently pulls in $500,000 a week. Just cranking out oil, and it's a massive employer. I mean, 6,000 jobs. I mean, pretty much everybody that lives over here can go work over there. Not really, but just, it's huge oil industry. Like, we took a couple different streams to get this all working so that it wasn't like just an absolute nightmare. And the cool thing is, we're actually processing most of our oil. We're making almost 1,000 barrels. Only 116 coming out is just raw crude. That's not bad. We're processing the hell out of this stuff. Where's the traffic? That's just it. Because, okay, so I've got, let me pull it up here real quick. And you are welcome to use this. I'm just going to find it here real quick. Do I have one for I don't have one for this city, I don't think. Yeah, I do. So let me get this open and then bring this over. So I've got this spreadsheet. That you go through, figure out, you know, which of these industries unique factories that you want. And then you can go over here and you can see your total amount of the resource you're going to need. So in total, I'm only using 12.8 of my plain timber. So I'm overproducing by 12.8. I'm overproducing paper by 7.2, graphs by 71, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what this does is this helps me go through and make sure that because I've got all these oil pumps, that I've got enough processing buildings to take care of most of it. So technically, I should only have 76.8 barrels going out, but it fluctuates up and down every week. But I've got a public version of this as well that you can just save to your own Google Drive. Let me find that. Actually, the easiest way to find it. I don't remember the link to it. Would be. There we go. Boop. There you go. So if you go to that, and I've got it in bright red, people still don't pay attention to this. All you have to do is be signed into your Google account, and then it used to be, yeah, make a copy, and that'll save a copy to your Google Drive that you can then edit. This one you cannot edit for obvious purposes because people would just constantly be using it and messing up other people. So just hit make a copy under file, and you'll be good to go. But even though I've got it in bright red, I get probably 15, 20 requests a week requesting access to edit it, and I'm just like, Jesus. So this is the only part you ever have to change. The building values are over here. So if you crank it to 150% and your building values are going to change, you can change them here. But you really need to know exactly what the numbers are going to be for your outputs and consumption and everything when you crank it up. So you'll have to look that math up to know what it is. But this is how much each one changes, and that's just where this page is drawing its information from. You're on at 200. So yeah, you would want to go through and actually do the math to calculate it out. But so, you just type in how much of a thing you have, and now it just updates in real time. So now we're over. So, if we put in some of those, now we're only over by 10. Put in a couple flour mills. Now we're only, we're kind of close, borderline. We might run out of goods at a couple of these, and it just helps you get for me at least, I'm a numbers guy. I'm a spreadsheets guy. It helps me know a little bit better about what I'm going to be doing. And I didn't come up with the idea. I was looking for one, and somebody had a PDF of their own version of that, but their OneDrive shortcut was no longer functional. So I just made my own and took care of it that way. We're going to need parking lots through here. I don't like all these people parking on this. I do like this wall, though. I don't know why. That just feels cool. Just that wall right next to that road. And then we'll have buildings and maybe some parks up here. You have more oil trucks than you do at 60 income, about 25% of the space. Wow. Yeah, this is just really well optimized. And then I also did some things with speed limits to encourage them to export, to make it to just discourage them going out to the highways. So it just works. Another thing with industries, and a lot of people know this, a lot of people don't build while paused. Because if you do that, then all of your freaking buildings will all send their trucks out. It'll be like simultaneous truck driving. It's like those synchronized swimmers, this ballet swimming, except it's trucks. So don't build your stuff while paused. Build unpaused. That way there's don't bam, 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 pop them down. Pop one down, wait a couple seconds, pop the next one down, wait a couple seconds, pop the next one down, wait a couple seconds. And that will help stagger the output from your oil pumps. Where are my oil pumps? They're in the middle, right? Yeah. But so basically I've got this set up so my pumping is here in the middle, storage outside of that for just the raw oil, and then on this side we're making plastics, on this side we're making petroleum, and then we've got train cargo for both of them. This one doesn't see as much usage just because it's a longer train route and they take that into effect, but there's still some coming back here, so it's worth having. But I love this freaking oil industry area, and it's out here in just this nasty arid part of the map where there was a ton of oil anyway, so it works out really well, and I dig it. We have we're ready to launch. Cool. Bluebird Heavy 4 needs a name, guys. What are we naming this one? Bluebird Heavy 1 got canceled. Tabitha got launched 5 years ago. Steve got launched the year after that. So Bluebird Heavy needs a better name. Any suggestions? Somebody's using my parking. That's sad. We need a good name for this. I do. Yeah, I've got it. It's over by my airport. The Intrepid. I can spell. Trip in. Intrepid. Intrepid. How do you spell Intrepid? I like Hobo's name. We're gonna go with that. Wait. Pause. Copy. What's up, Hobo? I like that. Copy. Resume. Hopefully this will fit. Boom. There we go. Let's not have... I mean, you know what? Let's leave the exclamation point in there. You found it reduces other tourist shots in the city? It does help a lot. Let's launch this bird. I love these rocket launches. I also like going first-person camera on the rocket. Just a nice fire in the distance. I just like the view you get from the freaking rockets, though it turned around for some reason. I need to change where my camera is. It climbs so fast. And you're just out here above your city. We're not going to just look at the thruster. Where'd he go? There he is. Bye, George. I still have quite a few tourists coming in. Even though I have the space elevator, I still have quite a few tourists showing up. That's only bringing in 760 of our, like, 3,200 tourists. Yeah, 3,200 tourists. We've got 3 train stations, the big airport. I don't have ships because it didn't make any sense on this map. Thank you, whatever, for the, or what Evo, either one. I just didn't think it made ships. It didn't make sense to have ships because we've got these really shallow rivers. I don't even think there's a shipping path. Yeah, there's not even a shipping path on this map. So I'd have to add that, and I don't know. It just seems, obviously it's not going to come in this one. It's too narrow, way too shallow. But this, even over here, this gets really shallow as well. And it just would have looked silly to have the ships going like over a small waterfall, and so I just didn't bother. So we don't have cruise ships, and I'm fine with that. We've got trains, planes, and the space elevator. Yeah, I think most of our tourists are coming in over here. I mean, that thing is just, we've had 5 million people go through this airport. Is that right? Yeah, 5 million people go through this airport. Currently 411 active flights. It goes between like 250 and 500 active flights. This airport is just booming, and yet the one runway seems to handle it all. We had a problem with the cargo planes for a while, backing up. Yeah, it's interesting watching them, like, that's where all these people are coming from. That's what all these freaking pedestrians are about. They're all just coming off the space elevator right there. I tried to keep them close to a major tourism area so that they could get over here and start spending their money right away, but it seems they're more interested on really going over here and just jumping on a bus. We still have a massive number of people waiting to take that bus. But our buses are spaced out now, so let's add, I'm not going to add 10 more, but I'll add 5 more buses to it. And that should, fingers crossed, help. Surprisingly, that's not our busiest bus line. This one is, and it's doing fine. Like, that's the closest to a full bus we have. I'm pretty proud of the city. I've got a little backstory for the city and everything. It takes too long to tell it all. Eventually, once I'm done with this, which is going to be a while, so I'm going to build out over here and some over here, and maybe even a little town off over here. But I think I'm going to eventually submit it to City Planner Plays for his City Planner Plays reviews your city, just to see what he thinks of it. I mean, he is the expert, right? I'm still not really happy with this cable car being where it is. I think it blocks the views. City Planner Plays. If you have not seen his YouTube channel, I highly recommend. He's good. And he just keeps getting better. Like, I've been going back and watching some of his old stuff. And just watching, and he's only been doing this like not even 2 years, and he's already up to 341,000 subscribers. So that tells you he's doing something right, because you found him a little slow to watch. Yeah, he can be. His videos are really long. Some of them are like over an hour long. But I've learned a lot from him. I enjoy his insight as, because he's a real life city planner. But I just don't like my view here being obstructed by these pylons, not piers, but whatever they are. I don't like that the view out here is taken up by just that. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy with it. This park is still my favorite area on my entire city, though, because it's just one straight shot down, and it tapers so that the people back here have just as good of a view out to the water as up here. Yeah, no, there are definitely things that you would think he should know about the game that he doesn't, and so it can be frustrating. I do yell at him every once in a while, while I'm watching. Not in the comments, just yell at my screen. It's like, no, it's this, but support slower the cable car so it's just above the water, maybe. Yeah, but I was kind of going to give him a view. I thought it'd be nice to give him a view while they're in there. I mean, that's 45 feet in the air. If they're right above the water, I think it'd look kind of sketch. Oh, we can try it and see. Can you just lower these and move it? Does that work? Or do you have to do the segments too? Let's find out. Never tried this before. Wow, it's really hard to click on one of those. Yeah, you gotta lower the segments too. You can move the pole all you want, but that doesn't change the segment. So I'd have to rebuild it. But I did. I raised it up. That's raised up to 45 feet, and then it's pretty straight all the way across and then drops back down. Supports. They're just called supports. I mean, there's not that many of them. There's only 5 across the whole waterway, but I just don't like them. It also messes. I wanted my view, because once this concert park upgrades, the stage reorients to this end. I think it's this end. Hopefully it's not that end. If so, I'll just flip it around. But now my view that I wanted is obstructed by the cable car stop building. So it's kind of not the best. Change the segment length and redo. I could. Wait, change the segment length. Can you make them why are we below ground? Let's pause. Get rid of that one too. Can you do longer segments? In roads, segment length. I'm confused what you're talking about. In the roads tool, you can change the segment length? Which roads tool does that? I must not have the mod that does that then. So we can keep it down low to the water. It's got to kind of come. I want it to go right where it should. What's the longest we can go without tower support? About that far. Let's see if we can just cheese it by going as long as we can. Whoops, I went over to my other monitor again. That gives me 2, that gives me 1. I cut them in half. Now we only have 3. That's not as bad. It is really low though. I don't know how I feel about being that low to the water. I guess it's fine. Yeah, that works. There's only 3 of them now, and it's not we got them all pretty much at max length. Now they're not as much of an eyesore, so I guess lowering them was the move. Okay, people are just disappearing. I love this content creator pack, but the paths are so wonky. Just... Good night, Hobo. I'm wrapping up here in just a minute, so you're not going to miss a whole lot. I'm hungry and I'm tired. They're just vanishing. I mean, they pop back out eventually. They reappear. But... oh, hey, we have the wave and the wave. I just don't get why they disappear to begin with. It's got to be like the terrain underneath them is too low or something. I don't really know. Yeah, I like this little island. This is the first thing that we built tonight. I just leveled off the big area over here. And this is all just leisure except for a tiny bit of tourism back here. And that's the only thing that's here. Commercial and some services. And then we've got the ferry line and the cable car. And I think it looks pretty cool. You get a nice view of the zoo and the theme park from over here. We've got a pedestrian path for anybody who wishes to walk from downtown, which a surprising number of people are. It's not as busy as it was. Like when I first built this bridge, like, man, it was packed full of people. But, and then thanks to Jumanji, we have the paths that are actual roads so that I was able to have the piers and this stuff over here. That is constantly flooded, but whatever, I don't care about that. But they were complaining about no road access. So these are actually zonable roads instead of paths. I'm not going to put anything on them, but I didn't even know that existed. So appreciate that. We are going to wrap it up for tonight, guys. I need to get something to eat and then chill for a little while before I go to bed. There we go. So who are we going to raid tonight? Let's go take a peek at who's live. As far as our usual channels, we've got Rune Sun, who's actually playing a different game than normal. That's it. You still say change the main road to gravel road bridge? I could. Oh wait, are you talking about this road? You think I should change this to a gravel road? Maybe. Maybe. We'll get it next time. Let's see who's playing Cities Skylines. See if we can make a new friend, possibly. Or if you guys in chat have any suggestions, I'm open to them. See if we've got somebody right around the same number. Let's see what this dude's all about. Ad, of course, there's an ad. About the same size channel, about the same size viewers. I'm still watching an ad? I hate the ads. Twitch, the pre-roll ads. I know people get it when they come to my channel too. Oh my god, this is a long ad. Let's check this guy out here. He has, it looks like he's just starting out on the city. Yeah, let's go see about making a new friend here. Let me copy pasta this. Anyways, make sure you're following on Twitter so you get announcements of all the live streams, videos, and other nonsense that I post on Twitter. And come subscribe over on YouTube. I do have a City Skylines series there as well. Completely different city that we're building. And come hang out with us on the Vainglorious Discord server. There are your raid emotes, whether you're a subscriber or not. You can copy pasta those and drop them on PCB Player 2015. I'll be back live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time with something endgame. I don't know what it'll be yet. I decide about 5 minutes before I stream what I'm going to play. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for active chat. I always love it when there's a lot of people talking in chat. City Skylines usually gets lots of opinions, and that's why I like playing it. I really appreciate the insight that you guys give and the input that you give. Let's go say hi to a new friend, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.